Welcome back. I hear about it on the radio, out on the street. I get tons of email about it. Everybody's got questions about the orgasm. So let's open things up a bit and begin a conversation that may address some of your concerns. First, I'm going to go to the audience. Who's got questions about the orgasm? There you go.
Hi, Dr. Drew. My question is, I'm very familiar with female orgasm, but
Thankfully, that's good.
Yeah.
Well,
but I've heard that there are women who could actually ejaculate.
There are.
And I'm just wondering, what is the percentage of women who could actually do that?
Some women actually gush. That's right. And it's not urine. It's actually an ejaculate. That's right. And it can be a large volume of fluid. And no one has ever come up with an exact number on that. From what I hear talking to people, it's probably under 10%, maybe even under 5%. And there are very few women that have that every time. Most women that have that problem or that talent have it some of the time, and they really can't even tell when that's going to happen. It's not even necessarily associated with a particularly intense orgasm for some women. Interesting. So now here's an email from our Discovery Health website. Dear Dr. Drew, I was wondering if there's a way to speed up an orgasm. My husband touches me in all the right places, but it takes me 1,000,000 years to have an orgasm, to have one. 1,000,000 years, this poor darling. So, well, boy, we've had a whole show on orgasm. There's no way to speed it up. In fact, some of the ways to get at the orgasm is to take the heat off of it. For some women, it's never going to happen with intercourse. It's only going to happen with some sort of direct stimulation. So if you're having trouble, you're probably going to be in that category. And to really kind of take the heat off the goal. Just enjoy the intimacy, enjoy the feelings. Learn to open up and feel the closeness. That tends to be very helpful in getting there. So it might just take a couple 100,000 years instead of 1,000,000 years. So, all right. Now, on the street, we also found people that had plenty of questions about orgasm.
How do you even know if you're having an orgasm?
As a woman?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the guy produces something, right? And as a woman, if you literally, I think it's the old aphorism is true. If you have to ask that question, you're not having one.
You're not having one.
No.
Are men's orgasms stronger than women's orgasms?
You know, we have no way of really knowing that, do we? Right? Because no one's ever been both.
Okay.
But the fact is, when women take testosterone, they report having more intense orgasms. So I would deduce that men generally have more intense orgasms.
Is that right?
Generally speaking.
All right.
But we'll never know.
Can you base how good of a man's orgasm is depending on how much he ejaculates?
That is a great question. Yes and no. Oftentimes, if guys have an orgasm for a long time, there will be more fluid, and then there's more intensity. Some guys just produce a lot of fluid every time, so it doesn't necessarily predict. I think, generally speaking, more fluid, more intensity, generally.
Yeah, I just wanted to know how I can make my woman have multiple orgasms.
You know, you really can't make a woman be multi-orgasmic. That's something they're kind of born with. You can make a woman have sequential orgasms, like maybe get to have 2 or 3, but she's not going to have one right after the other because she's just not wired that way.
Can men tell when women fake orgasm?
No. Really can't. I mean, especially if a woman is able to contract the muscles, the perineum, the vaginal wall, there's no way a guy can tell if you're a good faker.
Okay, now let's take another question here in the studio. There you go.
Hi. Lately when I orgasm, I get a splitting headache.
Oh.
And I'm out of commission, like have to lay down for 15 minutes and...
And it only lasts about 10 or 15 minutes?
Well, yeah, it lasts about 10 or 15 minutes and begins to decrease.
Is it every time you have an orgasm?
Lately, yeah.
Have you ever had migraines?
Yeah, migraines.
You have migraine headaches. So orgasm can trigger migraines. Some of your family have migraines too?
Yeah.
You take migraine medication?
Not anymore, no.
You might want to take some migraine prophylactic medication. In fact, with severe migraines, believe it or not, you can even cause a stroke sometime.
Whoa.
So, yeah. There's a benign sexual headache, which some people get, actually very, very commonly get, lasts about 15 minutes, but it doesn't happen every time. But it's hard to tell what's a sexual benign headache and what's a migraine and what's a more serious form of headache, like something from, say, an intracranial aneurysm, something like that. So really the bottom line is you should see a doctor about it. Whoever's treating your migraines, you should talk very seriously about this.
Okay.
There you go. Next question in the studio.
As I've gotten older, it's taken longer to have orgasms, and I was wondering if it has anything to do with the age, or you start wearing it out too much. And
wearing it out? What are you doing?
If it has a life expectancy or something,
Did you? It's like a battery or something.
Right? Do I need to change it?
Did you have orgasm with intercourse before?
Yes.
And was it easy for you?
Much easier.
And now it just takes longer.
Now I'm late to work.
Are you on? Tough. Are you on birth control?
No.
Are you, how old are you?
42.
Are you having any perimenopausal symptoms?
God, I hope not.
It could be the first manifestation of perimenopause. You know, sexual dysfunction, as we mentioned in this show, orgasm dysfunction can be a sign of medical problems. So you really need to see your doctor, talk about it, get a blood count, make sure there's nothing else going on. But most commonly, women in their 40s, that's perimenopause. So testosterone levels start dropping, estrogen levels aren't as consistent. And there's we did a whole piece tonight about testosterone, how important that is in keeping that at a normal level to maintain your sexual desire and orgasmic functioning. So doctors will, even though it's not been approved, doctors will help you with that. So
good to know.
All right, thanks a lot. And thanks to all of our guests for adding valuable perspective to the show. So what's my bottom line? The orgasm is complex, right? You agree with that? Very complex, but a wonderful part of your sexual experience. The idea is to think about your partner and his or her needs. Don't try to fulfill your expectations. Don't do to the other person what you would like. Tune into what they want. Ultimately, it's not about you, it's about them, and that's really about the two of you, isn't it? So that's it for Strictly Sex. If you have questions about this show or any other sexual topic, check out our website, discoveryhealth.com. I'm Dr. Drew Pinsky, and until next time, be safe and stay well.